Welcome to the Daily 30, a daily 30-minute live show covering world news, politics, entrepreneurship, business, personal development, social media, and digital marketing. My name is Ivan Temelkov, Chief Human Marketer at Razor Sharp Digital, the world's #1 human marketing agency, where we help brands and entrepreneurs forge their digital footprint using multi-channel marketing, emotional engagement, and community cultivation. You can watch the Daily 30 live Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of each week at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, airing on Facebook, LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, and Twitch. And before we jump into today's trending headlines, I want to share with you that just in case this is your first time tuning in, this is episode 2 of the Daily 30 that I just started literally yesterday. So I'm pretty excited about this, and I'm excited about it because multicasting is the new hotness. If you're not doing multicasting, and we are broadcasting all over the internet right now, and more channels are going to be added, more and more platforms are going to be added, and I'm pretty excited to do this. Also wanted to mention real quick that if you don't know about my podcast, The Roz Project, that airs every Monday and a Friday as well. You can check out more information at therozproject.com. And that is all in video also, and available in audio on all major platforms. Just search for The Roz Project. So here are today's trending headlines that I'm going to talk about. An American dies from COVID-19 about every 2 minutes. How to use current crisis for self-development and personal growth. Facebook, Google, and Twitter CEOs defend the law that created social media in Congress. And every company needs an entrepreneur in the C-suite, and 8 reasons why you should start your own digital agency. So let's just go ahead into it. And I actually want to tackle the first trending headline today, and that is the fact that according to USA Today, coronavirus live updates: an American dies from COVID about every 2 minutes. So the Dodgers' Justin Turner left World Series Game 6 with a positive COVID-19 test, but returned to the field for a celebration and photos with the trophy. So I'm curious, okay, if you tested positive for COVID-19, then why in the heck are you returning to the field? Like, isn't it contagious? Aren't you supposed to be isolated if that's the case? I don't get it. In Wisconsin, the state saw its worst day in the coronavirus pandemic to date. Its 2-month long outbreak is one of the worst in the country. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about this here. Okay, an American dies from COVID. Let me close this out here. According to this USA Today article, okay, an American dies from COVID about every 2 minutes. Okay, that's devastating. That is absolutely devastating, and I don't know how else we're going to rectify this except if wear your mask, right? I mean, let's face it. If you need to go to the grocery store or an area where wearing masks is a requirement, then why wouldn't you wear it? Like, I get it. You might be healthy. I get it. But this is really for the protection of others. This is really more for helping others. Helping other people. And also protecting yourself. So let's see, a couple more things that I wanted to share here. As well. Let's see. So this article was actually on USA Today, and it just kind of caught my attention. let's see. Yeah, I mean, look, guys. I mean, it's a pandemic. I mean, what else? What else do you want me to say? And really, the best thing that we all can do is let's face it. I don't like wearing a mask. I mean, I don't like wearing a mask when I have to go to the gym because I feel like I'm gonna, suffocate when I'm working out. But you know what? Let's think about other people. Let's think about just being a good Samaritan and helping others out. You know, um, just be a good Samaritan. I mean, I don't know what else to say to this because I know so many people are opposed, to masks. So many people are opposed to the whole COVID situation. A lot of people think that this is a prefabricated endeavor, and I've known people who have gotten COVID-19. Some had to go to the hospital. A lot of those people had respiratory problems. A lot of those people had breathing problems. And I will tell you this. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. And so why would you want to put yourself or risk that? Look, I'm a risk taker myself. Okay. I'm just gonna flat out say that. And the reality of things is that there's a difference between like being crazy and taking a risk, a mitigated risk. And I actually have been given that more and more thought recently. But with COVID-19, as a father, as a husband, I have a family to protect. Also, so I'm mindful of that. To be quite honest with you. So that was the first trending headline. An American dies from COVID-19 about every 2 minutes. And the second headline that I wanted to talk about today is, here we go, how to use current crisis for self-development and personal growth. So, according to an article on Thrive Global, the term new normal may sound convincing, but no, there is nothing normal about the current crisis. Absolutely, there isn't. We have lost 1 million lives to COVID-19 in the past few months. Is losing lives the new normal? Or how we are hardly able to see our friends or go to work the new normal? It's look, I mean, the new normal, may sound convincing, but there is no new normal. We hardly get to see our friends. We hardly get to see, our family, and that's devastating. So what do we do in the meantime? So while most of our time is at home and spending it meeting our work from home targets, we have a pretty decent number of hours to relax, don't we? All the time spent commuting to the office and waiting traffic signals is yours now. So, mind you, okay, mind you, let's put this in perspective here, okay. So, if you are someone who's been working the traditional 9 to 5, and we're talking about today's second trending headline, which is how to use the current crisis for self-development and personal growth. Okay, so if you are working a traditional 9 to 5. Okay, let me bring that up, and this is what this article is talking about. Is now you don't have to commute, you don't have to be sitting in traffic, you don't have to be getting into road rage. I don't know about you guys, but there's nothing fun about sitting in traffic, and there's parts in the country where a lot of people despise sitting in traffic. I was one of those people up until 5 years ago when I started Razor Sharp Digital that I used to commute. I used to sit on the highway. I used to have to account for 45 minutes, sometimes an hour one way just to get to my destination. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but, I can find a better way to spend that time, and you can find a better way to spend that time. So let's go back to the article. And I want to talk about a couple other things here that the article talks about. So why not use the time spent in commuting and traffic signals for self-development and personal growth? So go social, social networks, social apps. This is a great way to connect with people. Whatever your take is on social media, I mean, that's kind of like the new norm of connecting with people. It's not a supplement for the human experience, but it's the alternative. Read a book. When was the last time you read a book? I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a book reader, to be honest with you too. So reading a book is actually a serious effort for me. But let's think about this. In this pandemic, and now that you have all this free time that you would otherwise be spending stuck in traffic signals, commuting, and probably yelling out your window or giving the birdie to someone because they cut you off, go read a book. Play trivia and quizzes. When was the last time you played trivia and quizzes? I'm going to be honest with you. So my kids, especially my son, absolutely enjoys puzzles. And every time he breaks that puzzle out, it's a reminder for me that, not only as a father, but also as a human being, it's like, man, like the simple days, like when we used to do puzzles and trivias, like that's what you could be doing, right now. That's what you could be investing your time in. So let's see. The fourth thing, try solving a Rubik's Cube. Look, guys, I mean, I've known of probably one, maybe two people who have tried to solve a Rubik's Cube. And if you take a stab at it, I think you're going to find out how difficult it truly is. Fight your fears. Fight your fears. Look, we all have fears. And now with this pandemic, with the, I guess, call it new norm, I mean, what a great way then to tackle your fears. What a great way then to overcome the hurdles of, the things that, scared you the most. So, think about that, fight your fears, conquer the unknown, try new things. Let's see. Number 6, give up an addiction. Okay. If you're a smoker, quit. I am a former smoker. Let's see. I quit 14 years ago at this point. So yeah, I mean, this article is a really, really good insight from Thrive Global, talking about, what you can do during this pandemic, to how to use the current crisis for self-development. Now let's move on to, the next article, which is probably, I would say it's probably a lot more controversial and appealing here to a lot of the audience, and that is, so Facebook, Google, and Twitter CEOs are to defend the law that created social media in Congress. So, okay, this is definitely very buzzworthy. So if you're a social media person, very much like me, a lot of people actually obviously are using social media to network and communicate. So the CEOs of Twitter, Facebook, and Google will appear before the Senate Commerce Committee on Wednesday in big tech's latest showdown with Congress. The Senate hearing will have a narrower, more policy-centric scope than other recent high-profile hearings, focusing specifically on Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. I didn't know that existed, but I'm glad it exists because there has to be some level of social decency, if you ask me. So this will be really interesting. I mean, so one of the continuous debates right now is the fact that companies like Facebook and Google and Twitter have really, really, really violated the privacy of, consumers, the privacy of human beings. And, I think to some extent, I would probably agree with that, to be honest with you. I would agree with that simply because, I think there's a violation of privacy in the way, your information is being used for a third party. So there needs to be some restrictions, in that regard. So we're going to see that happen. It's going to be interesting to watch unfold, actually, this Wednesday to see what happens, at the Congress level with, these tech giants and, will they face any penalties? I think that's probably one of the, biggest questions right now is just, are they going to face any penalties, and what will those penalties be, right? So let's move on to The fourth trending headline that I wanted to cover today, and that is the fact that every company needs an entrepreneur in the C-suite. So this is a Harvard Business Review on HBR.org. Innovation thrives when it has power and status within an organization to enable real innovative growth and rapid response in the face of such crisis such as COVID-19. Boards and company leaders must structure top organizational roles to give innovative efforts the resources and attention they need. In our work on business model innovation with over 100 large and medium-sized companies, we've found that companies looking for transformation have two good options: an entrepreneurial CEO or a powerful chief entrepreneur. So what this Harvard Business Review article is ultimately stating here is that, when it comes to building a company of any size, small, medium size, even a corporation that's really going through a transformation, right, is that you have two choices, right? An entrepreneurial CEO or someone who, is very powerful, as a leader, maybe, has a big following or something, or, a lot of authority in the marketplace. Now, typically, entrepreneurial CEOs tend to do better for companies simply because they're a lot more explorational. They're a lot more disruptive. They're a lot more daring. And in today's day and age, in this digital world, we need more disruption. We need more innovation. And so, what this article is talking about here is on HBR.org is the fact that most companies have two choices, and actually having an entrepreneurial CEO is probably the better of both choices, simply because it can really change the diversity of a company. And look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a huge believer of disruption. I'm someone that really embraces that within my company, Razor Sharp Digital. And I think it's important to recognize the disruptive approach. It's important to recognize the potential behind that. I should say, and that leads us to the fifth trending headline today that I want to talk about here, and that is why you should start your own digital marketing agency. So there's 8 reasons I want to talk about why you should start your own digital marketing agency, and what are the benefits to that. Okay, so the first reason is, well, hiring the right talent. Let's face it, finding the right talent is difficult in any company. Okay, and so finding that right person or those right people, can be challenging. You actually can have control over that, which hiring the right people is actually beneficial not only to you as a company, but also beneficial to your clients, because you can provide better service with a higher quality of caliber, better craftsmanship, right? That's the differentiation here. Now, the number 2 reason is work remotely from anywhere. My business, Razor Sharp Digital, is 100% remote. In fact, I've been giving some thought on, whether or not I actually want to rent any commercial space. Well, it not even makes sense to rent commercial space. Sure, there's the human interaction, the face-to-face, sure, I get that. It's an experience, but at the same time, it's also a cost factor that you have to consider, right? So the cost factor is, essential. And by the way, this is an article from searchenginejournal.com, one of my favorite websites that I visit to keep up with all things digital. Now, the third reason to start your own digital marketing agency is doing work you actually love. So for any of you that may have been following me on social media for a while, you know that I'm a big proponent for passion and purpose and why, right? Why I do what I do with Razor Sharp Digital and why we focus on human marketing is simply because we are humanizing the way marketing has, been done thus far. Because marketing has been inhuman. A lot of marketing has been about, a lot of companies and agencies just fattening their pockets. So, I love what I do. I've been doing digital for 26 years. I'm 40 years old. I started doing this when I was 14 years old. 14 and 40, 14 and 40. Such a close resemblance. 26 years. I was that kid who started dismantling, my father's old computer in his first business venture, an old CRT monitor that ran on Windows 95 at the time. I mean, that thing was a junk, but man, like little did I know, like what would come out of that. So the third reason to start your own digital marketing agency is do what you love. I mean, I love what I do. I love working with clients. I love working with people. I love creating solutions. I love building websites. I love doing paid media campaigns, and I'm pretty damn good at it. So number 4 is building the right work culture. So this is huge. This is huge. In fact, you don't have a company unless you have the right work culture. So this is something that, I personally am striving with Razor Sharp Digital to really, create that diverse and vibrant and energetic and fun, work culture, even though we are remote as the brand grows, because it's not like we're this massive company. I mean, we're really just getting things going, right? But the work culture is extremely important, and you get to pick that as being a business owner, being an entrepreneur. And number 5 is you get to pick the industry you like. So, I was on a call, or it was actually a podcast interview not too long ago that I believe is supposed to be airing end of this month. And, the guy had asked me if, we have a specific niche, and I said, well, we don't really have a niche. I mean, we work with a lot of different industries, a lot of different verticals. And so where I'm going with this is that I think niching down is important to industries and verticals. But, when you're starting out, or you're fresh into the game, like, first 5 years into business, you get to pick and choose until you find out what's profitable, what works for you, which industries, which verticals. So, the number 5 reason to start your own digital marketing agency is you get to pick the industries you like. Number 6 is creating jobs for people. So, I mean, I have one full-time employee right now. I'm not going to lie to you. And I'm going to be honest with you, is just that it's such a reward, such a higher sense of gratitude knowing that I'm able to support, someone financially for the time and the work that they do. So creating jobs, and as your business grows, you're creating more jobs, which you're contributing to the U.S. economy. And I don't know about you guys, but small business is the backbone of the U.S. economy, because without small business, there's no job growth. Okay? So number 6 reason to start your own digital marketing agency is creating jobs for people. Number 7 is build processes and standard operating procedures are successful. So there's, that's just it right there. It's processes and procedures and standards and workflows. I mean, those are differentiating things that can help separate you from the rest of the competition. From the rest of the world, from everybody else. Because one thing that I wanted to share here that is extremely, extremely, extremely important is the fact to realize that how you do things in business. So your processes and procedures are a huge differentiating factor. It's what separates you from everybody else. So when I look at, my company, Razor Sharp Digital, and the way that we do things, it's different than a lot of the other digital agencies, whether they're small or mid-sized or even corporations. And that's what separates us. That's what can separate you. And number 8 is you get to be the subject matter expert in your area. Now, I could argue this for a whole entire episode. And sure, there's a lot of people who start their own businesses and position themselves as subject matter experts. And I believe in that, because starting your own business allows you to do that, to become the subject matter expert. But of course, the contingency in that is, you know what you're talking about. Because there's a lot of self-proclaimed gurus on social media that don't know what the hell they're talking about. And so that is the 8 reasons of why you should start, your own digital agency. digital marketing agency. And we're coming up to the end of the show. I just wanted to recap real quick the trending headlines we talked about today. And that is 1, an American dies from COVID-19 about every 2 minutes. 2, how to use the current crisis for self-development and personal growth. Number 3, Facebook, Google, and Twitter CEOs defend the law that created social media in Congress today as they're set to appear. Number 4, every company needs an entrepreneur in the C-suite. And number 5, 8 reasons why you should start your own digital marketing agency. And with that being said, we're just about out of time. This was the Daily 30, a 30-minute live show covering world news, politics, entrepreneurship and business, personal development, social media, and digital marketing, hosted by yours truly, nobody else. You can watch live Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday every week at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, airing on Facebook and LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitter, and of course, Twitch. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to comment below wherever it is that you're watching on the social platform of your choice. And I want to thank everyone who took the time to watch this show. This is episode 2. We're just getting things going, so I'm pretty excited. And until tomorrow, take care. Have a fabulous day. God bless you all. Bye-bye.